This is a wonderful study. Now, it's a reference to basically a byproduct of gut microbiota and certain polyphenols. An example they used was pomegranate. And what it is something called Urolithin A, which is also a supplement. But what is interesting about this is the fact in a very short duration of time, it was actually a secondary outcome. The primary outcome, they were trying to test walking distance, and both groups improved, so there was no statistical significance. However, the secondary outcome yielded some interesting discoveries. But first, the kicker. What was really cool about this is fatigue resistance improved, even in the absence of exercise, meaning that people who were taking the Urolithin A at 1,000 milligrams a day for about 2 months or 4 months, depending on those checkpoints, actually started to work within 4 weeks, we'll look at it in a second, actually started to improve fatigue-wise just by the consumption of the supplement itself, which makes it an incredible tool for individuals which have a difficult time exercising for whatever reason. But that makes Urolithin A so amazing and a standout above other elements, which may help you exercise better once you're exercising. In this case, this actually helps improve fatigue without actually exercising itself, which is normally a tool to help reduce fatigue. But to proceed with the study, and you'll understand why in a second. Supplement appears to boost muscle mitochondrial health. An oral supplement intended to stimulate a natural body process appears to promote muscle endurance and mitochondrial health in humans. New research suggests that the supplement Urolithin A may help improve or prolong muscle activity in people who are aging or have diseases that make exercise difficult. Now, cut straight to the cool part, or the chase, to proceed. The results are still exciting. Now, remember them. This is coming towards the tail end of a statement in reference to the primary outcome, which they found no statistical difference in the primary outcome of those that are walking 6-minute whatever. But also, the discovery they discovered as well is that generally, that when they're looking at ATP, this was the primary outcome they're looking for, an improvement in ATP or adenosine triphosphate production, which for those not familiar, is something that helps with the energy of the muscle. But energy still increased, even though those markers they were looking for didn't appear to be statistically significant. So it alludes to there may be something more to skeletal muscle endurance and reduction of fatigue than just basically adenosine triphosphate, which is interesting. And that's how these discoveries occur. It's like, oh, that's odd. But to proceed, the results are still exciting because they demonstrate that just taking a supplement for a short duration actually improved muscle endurance, fatigue resistance got better in the absence of exercise, or became better. I'm just quoting. In this randomized clinical trial of 66 older adults, those who received supplementation with 1,000 milligrams of Urolithin A had a significant improvement in muscle endurance, the number of muscle contractions until fatigue. So there's where you get the Urolithin A. So think about it this way. They are doing whatever. And all of a sudden, without any additional exercise, they're just taking Urolithin A. Now they could do more of whatever that repetitive motion may have been. I hope that made sense. A significant improvement in muscle endurance and number of muscle contractions until fatigue for both hand and leg skeletal muscles compared with those who used placebo. Plasma levels of several acylcarnitines, ceramides, biomarkers of mitochondrial health, and C-reactive protein were decreased after Urolithin A supplementation. And that happened fast, meaning these findings indicate that Urolithin A was safe and well tolerated, as well as beneficial for muscle endurance and mitochondrial health in older adults. It may also be a promising approach to counteracting age-associated muscle decline. The increased muscle endurance, when we go to the abstract here, which the full study is published, the increased muscle endurance in both hand and leg muscles at the 2-month visit and further increased at the 4-month visit. As you can tell, we're going to the full study and we're actually picking out certain gems in reference to the complete study. Increase at 4-month visits support the conclusion that urolithin A supplementation directly improved skeletal muscle performance. These measures are functionally important because the ability to perform repeated submaximal muscle contraction is a key aspect of the activities of daily living. Just getting around, moving around, gardening, working in the kitchen, whatever it is, urolithin A appears to be a benefit for. The disassociation, this is the, what would happen here? The disassociation between maximal ATP production and muscle fatigue resistance observed in the study suggests that the maximum capacity for ATP production in skeletal muscle may not be the sole limiting factor associated with poor muscle performance. So now the mystery begins. If it's not ATP, then what else could it be? To proceed, another gem as we go a little further down. A decreased plasma acylcarnitines, which was indicative of improved mitochondrial metabolic efficiency in older adults, started occurring after 4 weeks of supplementation. So that alludes to, or I should say, gives credence to the bioavailability of urolithin A, which they looked at the study and they found that it is very bioavailable, and the speed at which urolithin A helps start improving some of these biomarkers. And to think about it, so here you are, time is proceeding, and all of a sudden, just by consumption of this supplement, which is normally a byproduct of gut microbiota, pomegranate, polyphenols, so on and so forth, and all of a sudden your resistance to fatigue or fatigue recovery begins to improve, including what we call muscle contractions until exhaustion, meaning whatever you're doing, you're able to do more of it, and that's just by the consumption of the supplement itself in the absence of exercise, which makes it an incredible tool for those that have challenges to where they cannot meet those physical goals even though they want to. So again, gratitude to the researchers. Oh, by the way, too, urolithin A, we did a research article on it 3 years ago, for those that are familiar, and it was referenced to the improvements in colitis in an animal model. So there is other benefits to urolithin A, and I just wanted to give you that insight because as time proceeds forward, it looks like more and more research is going to be geared towards this particular metabolic byproduct of gut microbiota, polyphenols. But again, gratitude to the researchers. Very, very important discovery. Kind of went under the wire because of secondary outcomes, but it still needs to be brought to the forefront. Links will be there to the DOI. And as always, gratitude. I appreciate you watching, as always, as I am humbled. And I look forward to see you all once again next week. Catch you then. Bye.